Hey ladies, welcome back. I am here with Cha-Cha, and today we're going to talk about beauty and menopause. I think several women that I've spoken to who are, hitting menopause now actually feel the physical changes in their body. Like it's not just about like the hormones and the effects of hormones that we
looking
feel.
in the mirror.
It's looking in the mirror and seeing that your face has changed. Things are more predominant. Things are missing, like collagen. My skin can feel drier. My hair feels frizzy. Like the texture is changing. And then, of course, it's harder to lose that weight that you gain as you go through menopause. And why that is so significant, I think, is what Cha-Cha and I have talked a lot about, is why women really want to put on the brakes when it comes to talking about menopause or confessing that they might be going through it, is because that feeling of losing your beauty kind of aligns with that feeling of being older and perhaps being irrelevant, which is really tricky, especially when you have a career where you're in a sort of ageist environment where you're working with a lot of young people. In our era, we would look at, older people as people who knew more, who had wisdom and experience, whereas I find a lot of younger people now look at older people in the work environment, especially like in the advertising world, as sort of irrelevant. And that's unfortunate, but that really wreaks havoc on our self-esteem, feeling that our beauty is declining.
When it comes to beauty, is that we all have inner beauty, of course, and
Yeah.
that as we're aging, we draw a lot more from that inner beauty from a healthy lifestyle. I believe in a healthy lifestyle, and I believe that when you see someone, you can tell whether or not they have a healthy lifestyle. I think it does make a difference in terms of our self-confidence, when we look in the mirror. I tend to focus on my age spots.
Do you?
And yeah,
Really?
for sure. I look at my age spots. Other people might look at wrinkles or facial hair, or we all like focus on our belly fat, right? And so these are all natural things that we do as women, and it's the same as with memory loss. We kind of compare ourselves to how we were.
Yeah. Oh,
and we have this
God,
feeling
yes.
of, there's this feeling of loss.
Yeah,
Right?
it is a feeling of loss. That's a good way of putting it.
What I think is important is that we process that loss. We will definitely see women at sort of, different ends of the spectrum. Some that just sort of accept the loss and then sort of compound on that loss, which we don't necessarily want to do as women.
You
right?
mean like let it go?
Let it go.
Like let yourself go.
Just letting it go.
Yes.
And then we have women who sometimes go to the extreme and, might be 70 and still look 20, like Cher.
Yeah.
Right?
She looks great.
She looks great. But
Why does she look so great?
Of course, because she's had a lot of work. In my life, it's kind of ironic because I was never the person to be in front of a camera. My first time in front of the camera was on Dragon's Den talking about vaginal dryness.
Wow, you really
Yeah,
you went all out.
I went
on
all
that.
out. In fact, it was a little crazy because I had a marketing firm that was working with me at the time, and they'd say, Cha-Cha, you have to take like press interviews. I'd be like, no, I don't want to take any press interviews. I don't want to talk to media. I don't want to talk to radio. I don't want to talk to TV. And they're like, you just went on the Dragon's Den. All these people are calling, and you don't even want to talk to them. I'm like, no, I don't want to talk to them, much less take my picture. And so there's some really awful pictures of me out there, I think, because in the beginning I was just like, I would just walk in with like whatever, issues I had that day. And so I had to actually, in my later life, think about makeup, think about wardrobe, think about brushing my hair. I always did it for professional reasons, but now I'm doing it for communication reasons, right? And there's still an expectation that Jackie and I can't just walk onto a camera the way we wake up in the morning.
No, you do not want to see that.
Yeah.
I mean, just me. I don't.
Same here. Same here. We need to be beautiful by asserting ourselves, by being positive role models. And so I think that just exudes and shines through. If we're doing things that we love, giving back, having essentially, kind of a lot of elements under our control, that gives us the self-confidence as older women that we need to all have. And I believe that if we also had sort of changed our societal stereotypes around older women, I think Hillary Clinton would be in power now. I think that we have this perception about older women that we need to change. As older women, these are prime opportunities for leadership. This is our time to lead. There are only 2 species that go into menopause: whales and humans.
Whales?
Yes, whales.
We should be talking to the whales. We're talking to the wrong people.
We're talking to the wrong people. And whales go into menopause, they believe, because they lead the herds.
Oh.
So after menopause, they know where all the feeding areas are. So
Wisdom.
wisdom. So older women, I believe, have the same amount of wisdom.
Of course we do. If we could remember it all, we have it.
We need to show natural forms of older women when it comes to beauty. So rather than spending all of our time, fixating on that loss.
Yep.
I mean, we have to go through that grieving and loss phase. We have to go, oh my gosh, at 50, I did not look the way I did at 20. Now, what are some really practical things that we can do? Of course, we can dye our hair, right?
Yes. Yep. But I don't. It's all natural.
Yeah. All natural, 100% not. Right. That's toxic to, our hair.
Makeup is tricky too, because as your face changes as you age, the heavier the makeup, the older you can look.
So makeup changes, obviously, as we're aging. And then things appear that we don't like wrinkles and age spots. There are ways to deal with that, right? Through over-the-counter solutions you can find in beauty shops.
Like, what are some main ingredients you should be looking for in those products, though? Like, is it retinol? Is it...
I'm a big believer in hyaluronic acid. So hyaluronic acid is a naturally occurring carbohydrate that retains moisture.
Okay.
And so we actually use it in our vaginal products.
Yes, I know.
Because it helps retain moisture. And so a very small bit of hyaluronic acid can help with moisture retention.
Okay.
So I actually use our vaginal products on my face.
Do you?
Yes,
I'm going to use your vaginal products on my face.
Yeah.
I have some at home.
Yeah.
Right.
Keep our skin healthy. Biotin is for, hair and nails. As we're aging, we actually need more internal supplementation than external. We associate, all the things that are happening to us as loss, and if we start to embrace the wrinkles, the age spots, the weight gain, and I do believe there's a reason to embrace weight gain, which is a whole nother episode, but there are reasons to embrace these things and look at them prospectively in terms of, okay, this is me at 50 and this is going to be me at 80, and this is why I'm going to be such a healthy 80-year-old.
Yeah.
And I have 2 gorgeous teenage daughters, right? And women have said to me, I feel invisible. I used to be the person who would walk in the room and everyone would look.
Yeah.
And now it's my children who they're looking at. If that is what you're using as your barometer,
yes,
you were always invisible.
Yeah. After 2 seconds, you're invisible.
Because people were looking at you for your external appearance.
Yeah.
Not for who you are as a person and as a woman.
I think it's far more important to be heard than looked at. If you've got something people are listening to, reacting to, engaging with, you've got a lot more visibility than just a fluff of blonde hair, that stuff is fleeting.
That's right. You could put that on a man and it probably,
Yeah.
probably would be
quite
just
cute. Take a step back and reshift, refocus your priorities, right? Like you said, if your body's going to go through this monumental change, you also have to have a lifestyle change to support it. In your 20s, it's all about look at me. In your 30s, it's look at what I have. And in your 40s, it's like, I don't care if you look at me because you're happy with where you are. That is one of the blessings of aging and menopause, is that you shed all of those shallow beliefs about what's important and you really feel what's important. You feel what's important from the inside, not what the media is telling you anymore. In fact, you're more in tune to say, that's a media message. I don't need to listen to that. And we're raising little girls and older girls who we want to ignore the media as well. We want them to know where true beauty comes from, right?
Yeah, and I think it's also really important as well for us to feel more beautiful than ever, and also important for people around us and media to reinforce that too, because we're
Yep.
human. We need reinforcement. We need those connections.
Well, beauty is just one of the many things that we notice changes and shifts a little bit, whether it's physical or just all in our heads. But it's one of the many things we're talking about, Cha-Cha and I, when it comes to menopause. So if you like our channel, subscribe and leave your comments. We'd love to hear from you and want to hear what you think. Are you going through the change? Do you have anything you'd like us to talk about? And we will see you next time.